And one of the episodes that we recorded, I think it was one of the push episodes. I name dropped Jadakiss and Styles as one of my favorite duos. Their synergy, that in and out thing that they do, everybody can't do that.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do that. You can try it, but they do it so well that when they're on the same song together and they don't do it, I feel like I've been robbed of something. I don't care how many times I hear them together. I never get tired of it. Because what I try to do when I hear them do the in and out thing, I try to figure out who wrote most of this. It's the hardest thing in the world to do if you don't have chemistry.
We are back in the mix.
Let's go.
To my left, you're right. Depending on how you seeing, hearing, being, absorbing this information, we have the beautiful.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Alexa Gold.
And to the bottom, we have
Azrael, DiCaprio, the cerebral assassin of Raw Deal Squad Entertainment, and the Beat Connection is in the building as per usual. Triangle offense is always in effect.
AKA the Macho Man.
Tap into it. What you talking about?
And y'all already know me, Mr. Nobody, the can-do kid. I just sit up here and run my mouth and try to make y'all laugh a little bit. So with all that being said, we are... Hold on, you can't see because of mic. We are the Beat Connection. We are... we're the sample friends of sampling. We talk tracks and sample tracks and tracks in between and have fun while we do it and all that good stuff because I messed that up, but we gonna keep it one take.
No, that was good. Let's go.
And keep it going. So with all that being said, let me let's jump into something real quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I recently learned, right? All right. Alchemy is a seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, or a combination of the both. It is defined as the process of taking something ordinary and turning it into something extraordinary, sometimes in a way that cannot be explained. And those that practice this art are known as alchemists. In today's episode, we are going to use a small bit.
No. Hold on. Yes. Let that breathe. Bro.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
Well played, sir. Well played.
MD good?
Uncle Al will be proud of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So with all that being said, like I said, those who do this and practice this art are known as alchemists. And today we're going to take a small bit of my music and try to create some alchemy of our own. So with all that being said, Lex, because I know you picked this track and you wanted to, you know what I'm saying, you were very excited about it. I'm going to pick Mr. DiCaprio on the bottom.
Don't do that.
No, I want to hear what you guys say.
Go Lex.
Oh, you gonna hear what I gotta say? Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm a fan out over the Alchemist for a minute. So
love it. So I'm gonna fan out over Samuel Jonathan Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Who is the artist who is sampled for this track that we are going to be talking about today.
That's a beautiful record, by the way. Beautiful record.
Yeah, My Music. That is the title of the song that was sampled. And Samuel Jonathan Johnson was essentially like a child prodigy, or definitely just well skilled from a early age. Was playing in church and essentially transitioned or evolved, to play all over his hometown. Was eventually moved and was discovered and signed to a label and put out an album called My Music, which I believe is his only official recorded album. So I actually listened to the album before I talk about My Music, but I actually listened to the full album and it's amazing.
It's a great body.
It's amazing.
No, real quick, do you remember when I said I'm not gonna talk about the music as much as something else?
Mm-hmm.
You're leading me right where I wanted to go, so I'm glad that you went first.
See, great minds. I mean, that's how we do it.
Obviously, great minds, because I have no idea where y'all about to go.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just reel me in when I get there. Don't worry about it.
Take the ride. Just take the ride.
I'm here.
But really, the debut album, My Music, is really, it's amazing. And it's so funny because there's so much music out there, and we don't know sometimes like all of what's out there until these amazing producers dig through the crates or dig through, whatever, they're listening to, and they happen to hear something and they sample it, and it gives us the opportunity to hear music that we may not have otherwise discovered. So
yeah, that's a fact.
Hearing this album, listening to it from top to bottom, it really is a good album. Because sometimes, producers pull out songs and then you go back and might listen to the song or listen to like the album. It's kind of like, meh.
But how you find that?
No, it happens sometimes. You pick and choose, but
how you find that out of all that trash?
Right. Right. But the reality is for Samuel Johnson, who was an incredibly talented pianist and composer, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's still alive and he's still performing, yes, albeit in the gospel circuit. But
although he did, because I know I'm gonna forget because we're gonna be all over the place.
Gotcha.
He did say that he appreciates that hip hop has discovered his music. And,
yes. Yeah. And see, okay, that's what I'm talking about, because I was right there. It was right on my mind. You picked it up.
Don't they all though?
No.
Funny enough.
That wasn't really like a rhetorical question. That was more so of kind of like a question, kind of like with a little sarcasm sprinkled in there. Like,
no, you'd be surprised.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing, because I feel like, don't they all, but not really, kind of thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Gotcha.
Like don't touch my music, but I'll take the check.
Right.
No, I'm with you. I'm rolling. You ain't got to say it. I said it for you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I'm glad that he said it explicitly. I'm glad that he actually said, I'm glad that hip hop artists, hip hop producers, hip hop is actually going back into, this album, and they're using it, because it really, I mean, honestly, I had never heard of, this artist, and I didn't even know, like, obviously, if you hear the song,
you want me to just go?
Yeah, you might as well. But if you hear it, you kind of pick up that it's a sample, but you don't necessarily know.
Okay, stop that. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Samuel Johnson, his track "My Music" off of his album was also titled "My Music" as well,
yes,
right?
Yes, it was the title track.
Okay, so the producer credits go to obviously himself, a gentleman by the name of Johnny Hammond, and excuse me if I chop and screw and destroy this gentleman's name, but Akai Allergen.
I saw that name on the credits and was like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Okay, I tried it. I can at least I'd rather try and fail than not try it at all. But we're gonna get that gentleman's credit as well. This was released in 1978. Geez, the 70s have got to be a cheat code for hip hop, man.
Well, yeah.
And,
go ahead.
Okay, so a gentleman or a gentleman or all parties involved, artist by the name of Jadakiss featuring Styles P, off the track "We Gonna Make It" off of his album "Kiss the Gang Goodbye." Yeah. The producer was, like we said in the beginning, the Alchemist.
Uncle Al.
In 2001. So Lex, I'm freeze.
And it's so funny because I picked this track because.
Wait. It's crazy that the lady of the collective picked the hardest record in the world
Wow.
Like, do you know Styles P stabbed somebody in the ass right after this? Like,
I believe it.
It's so
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. I think went to jail for it.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly.
But it's so crazy because when we were talking about choosing songs for our next episodes, and I was thinking about like dope samples, and I was like, you know what? I don't know why this song came to mind for me. When I listened to the lyrics, obviously I'm like, God. That's what shocked me. I'm like, for real? I'm like, and even I had to, because I hadn't heard the song in a while, so I was listening to the song on repeat, and I'm like, Lex, you really chose this. You really chose this, but
it was the part where he was like, Jada Moi, I kiss you, you bitch ass nigga. No, that was the part. Like, yeah, we doing that one.
I mean, it's such a. Oh my God, we can speak about the lyrics, but
go ahead.
The production. Like, I listened to the instrumental, I don't know how many times, because this joint is just it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Hold on. Yeah. And I know we keep stopping you because
guys.
This is a class.
This is a fun episode. Let's go.
So if you really, and then Lex, I'm gonna throw it right back to you. Mm-hmm. But if you really want to listen to that instrumental and have it like give you like shivers or whatever, go onto YouTube, and it's a clip of a producer competition. It's Alchemist versus Just Blaze.
That is a great competition. Oh my God.
Now they're going, you know what I'm saying, track for track, right? When I tell you, when Al put this, because he transitioned it from the My Music joint and transitioned it into We Gon' Make It. And when I tell you, if you ain't never seen a gang of ninjas like go crazy and then like literally it's like it's like it's a moment in hip hop for real. And then not for nothing, right? And shout out to Just Blaze. He dropped the public service announcement joint by Jay. So the energy in the room.
No, that was crazy. That was a moment.
It was just it's like when Jordan and Dominique was going head to head in the dunk contest kind of joint. Like it was crazy.
It's one of those. That's one of those moments where you just really realize how in love with hip hop you are.
It is.
That's one of those.
It's really like a beautiful moment. Like, and even in the clip, you know what I'm saying? I think like the MC up there, he's like, yo, this ain't no beef. This is all love. We don't want no craziness to happen. Like, this is just hip hop in its purest form, and we just loving what it is that our culture created. So for anybody, and I'm saying this to YouTube, you haven't seen the clip, I'm saying this for the people who are watching it. Go find that clip on YouTube if you wanna see like a hip hop moment that's like, oh God, like I wish I was there kind of thing. Yeah.
Because I've seen Just Blaze transition that before, like going from PSA from the sample to PSA, but to see it happen right into My Music and We Gonna Make It.
It was so hard. It was so hard.
I was like, we are not worthy. We are not worthy.
And I think just to piggyback off of that, and to wrap up, because I definitely want to hear what y'all have to say about these songs.
Because I think I stopped you about 6 times.
No, it's all good because really, these songs excite me. They're exciting. They get me energized. I mean, even listening to We Gonna Make It, like I'm like, some sweet old Philly joint, and like that joint, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but that joint, like, it gets me so hyped. But
that opening line.
Yo, real. But let me say,
come in. Yeah, we all so come together now. Yeah, sorry.
No, let me say, like, real quick though, before I hand it off.
Good.
Once again, this is why I love, like, this is how you know you have a good ear. This is how you know you got a good ear. You're really in tune with music. The sample, the piece of my music that was sampled, it's if you were anyone else, it's so easy to overlook it. Yeah. It's so easy to overlook that when that violin comes in. I mean, because it really is literally less than 30 seconds. Yeah. And the fact that the Alchemist...
And it's deep into the track. Like
yes, and it's deep into the track. It's not even in the beginning. It's not even at the end. It really is like kind of like this transitional like bridge phase, and it really like is so quick. And the and it's pitched down. Like it's not even like he pitched it up. Yeah. But the fact that the Alchemist was able to hear that and to create that bomb ass track for Jadakiss, which also let me say, Jadakiss wasn't even the first one that was supposed to get the track. It was
talk about it.
Okay. Let's do the homework.
I'm just saying it was supposed to be because I think he was supposed to give it to Razcast, and then
he gave it to Razcast.
He gave it to Razcast, and then something happened with that. And then
Priority Records wouldn't cut the check.
They wouldn't cut the check.
They were trying to ice Razcast out of his contract.
Well, because they had paid the first half, and then they wouldn't pay the second half, and it was just like a whole mess. And
that was sad because Razcast but at that time Razcast was up next.
And I can only imagine what other people would sound like on it, but because we're talking about Jay-Z was approached with it, he turned it down. Then Nas also heard it as well, and just like the fates would have it, Jadakiss heard it, he instantly wrote to it, and we gonna make it. So for me, it really speaks to the Alchemist and just his musicality and his ability to hear that one small piece and turn it into hip hop greatness, like to turn it into a classic like that. I think it's just incredible. So
that's just
question for the group.
Yeah.
If for whoever else is watching, right? Remember we talked Mind Playing Tricks on Me, right? Mm-hmm, and we kind of said, like, is this a form of urban come on, walk with me, like a urban therapy in a sense?
Yeah.
Would this be kind of considered one of those kind of like
we gonna make it,
like we go make it, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like push forward, fight through your...
Well,
like, would it be kind of
the hook is
I think the verses speak to it in parts.
And that's okay.
In increments.
Okay.
The other parts is kind of like what's
like when my coke come in and all right, now you're doing a lot.
Right. But you know what that makes me think about Kendrick Lamar's All Right.
Yeah.
We gonna be all right.
Right.
It makes me think about that.
No.
So,
But yeah. No. It is one of those. It does instantly put you in a good mood. I will say that.
Which is so crazy because when you really listen to the lyrics, I mean, like we said, like, there are parts of it that's just like, that is aspirational or inspirational. But then there are other parts where it's just like...
Styles said, I will instantly send you to God.
Right.
That's why I was like, yo, Lex picked this. The hardest record in the world. I'm sorry. What you sorry for? We was gonna talk about it anyway.
I mean, we was gonna get to it.
We was gonna get to it. I just was surprised that you picked it. I read the text like, oh, word? Oh, it's gonna be a hard as nails episode.
Yo, it's the production though.
No,
go, Ree, go.
But let me say this. Mr. Johnson, with little bit of information I could find, Lex tackled most of it. One thing that I read that made me actually think of Shizz. He discovered jazz while in the military, and it made me think about when Shizz said, "I discovered UGK in the military. I didn't even know who UGK was."
Right.
Imagine, and UGK is a rap group. Imagine not Imagine discovering an entire genre of music because you decided to risk your life for your country.
Right.
Like, that's wild to me. So, and I'll try to be abbreviated because there was a lot I wanted to talk about, but this episode has been really entertaining and I didn't want to stop the groove. The My Music album did relatively well in the UK.
Right.
It did relatively well. It didn't cross over to the States. And he decided to not pursue music much. Well, secular music.
Right.
What I wanted to talk about was, or one thing I wanted to talk about was how the industry can do that to you. You can have all the talent in the world, but God forbid you don't meet some invisible metric.
Right.
That man is way too talented to only have one album.
Oh yeah.
Like I've listened to that album 3 times within the last week, and every time I hear something new. Let me say this though, Uncle Al, the Alchemist, Lex. Do you remember when we did the Griselda episode? The reason I fell in love with Griselda was because of the Alchemist. The Alchemist. Shizz, you said this was a 2001 record, correct?
Yes, sir.
2001. I thought hip hop was a young man's game. That's what they tell you, right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say, right? That hip hop is a young man's game.
I've heard.
That record is in 2001. That's not even accounting for Alchemist's time working with Havoc, or Alchemist's time under DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill.
Right. Yeah. Right. That was like he started with them, right?
That's the sensei, yeah.
Right.
I don't want to hear that hip hop or any other genre of music is a young man's game when the Alchemist came up under Havoc and Muggs and is now pivotal in the Griselda movement.
Right.
That's 2 decades of being consistently great. And the dude puts out albums every week. Alchemist puts out a new album pretty much every 2 weeks. Like, he just put out one with Currency from New Orleans, used to be signed to Young Money.
Right.
For people who don't know that name. He's done multiple projects with Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine from Griselda. I feel like he did one with... It doesn't matter. It's hard working. You can't put an age on good music.
Right.
That's why me and Lex...
It's timeless, right?
Right.
That's what they say, right? That's what it's supposed to be. And I feel like that only happens in hip hop. They don't put a cap on rock music. They don't put a cap on jazz music. If you got the talent, then go get on stage. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. I salute the Alchemist for finding that small segment,
a small tidbit,
and giving it to one of the. He said it himself: top 5 dead or alive. And what's crazy to me is, as great as we gonna make it is, I forgot that Jadakiss's last verse is just him. Like, I associate that record with him and Styles.
Right.
I forget that the last verse is just Jada to himself.
Right.
Like, I think Styles has an ad lib, but for the most part, it's just Jada.
Yeah.
Right.
But the in and out is what makes that record so memorable.
That tennis match.
Yeah, I love it. It's like Venus and Serena. Like
tennis match flow.
Like when you see them go back, and they've done it 1,000 times, and it never gets old. They did it on Banned from TV, never gets old. They did it during the beef with 50, never got old. Like I love it. I wish they would just do an EP of that, but that might be too much to ask.
Oh,
Shizz, what you got?
Oh, okay. So we started with Samuel Jonathan Johnson, right? And I heard both of y'all say how musically talented he was at such a young age. I think what a lot of people don't realize too, not taking anything away from him, but sometimes it's in your DNA. And people, I don't think, but because he only had the one like quote unquote studio album, it's hard to find information and gather information on him. But he came from a musical background.
Right.
He came from a musical family, a family of musicians, if you will.
Yeah.
So I think the word is he began playing the organ or something like that at the age of 14.
Yeah. I did see that. I'm glad you brought that up. I did see that.
And then Reed, like you said, when he was introduced to jazz when he transitioned into the military. And then keeping that going, they say he played jazz piano at college parties and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it all started because, not for nothing, who knows if he was like pushed into it or whatever, but it's in his DNA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he just took what was primarily already God-given that he didn't know that he had, and just he took it and continued to nurture it, and kept going with it. And, you know what I'm saying? Got discovered by people. I think he started his own group, and one point in time he was opening up for the Jackson 5 and stuff like that. So the brother has talent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then what you got, Ree?
Real quick, you mentioned coming across somebody that can kind of help you mold your talent. You mentioned John Hammond. Do you know who that is?
Enlighten the people.
Are you familiar with Clive Davis? Are you familiar with that name?
Enlighten the people. Let's act like I don't know anybody.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Clive Davis is one of the greatest minds in music. Helped mold Whitney Houston. And that's just one name.
Right.
If you want to be a little...
That's a big name. That's a big name.
Right. If you can help mold Whitney, your job is done.
Right.
John Hammond is Clive Davis's mentor. I'll bring that up because in a few episodes now, we keep talking about family trees. We always talk about sonic ancestry, but the family tree from John Hammond to Clive Davis to Samuel Jonathan Johnson, and then somehow you get to the Alchemist and Jadakiss and Styles P. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Right, and it's dope that you say that because, again, jumping further ahead, I was introduced to Alchemist through the mixtape circuit, through Mobb Deep. That's how I discovered Alchemist, because I'm a big Mobb Deep fan, and every time I heard Mobb Deep, I heard Alchemist. So,
real quick, because I totally would have forgot this. Return of the Mac, The Alchemist and Prodigy. The entire album is soul samples. You gotta hear that album. We could do a whole half a season just on that album. That album is phenomenal.
I'm sure.
And they're not instantly recognizable, but you know it's a sample as soon as you hear it.
But again, I was introduced, and you know what? I'll just roll into my final thought for a second. I was introduced to the Alchemist through Mobb Deep, being a big, huge Mobb Deep fan, and if you've heard the production through Mobb Deep, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times you either thinking it was Havoc, or again, for the most part, you was always thinking Alchemist. And I remember always hearing them, like, I remember checking mixtapes, and sometimes I would look just to see like who was a producer on there, because you know mixtapes is always just putting a gumbo pot of just different people, and I'm like, oh, Al on there. I just want to hear it just because I see Alchemist joint. Like I remember the And1 mixtapes. It was a track he did for the Locks called The Essence, and
that was great.
That beat is crazy, and I always like to hear his little like Alchemist joint. Like, I'm here for Alchemist all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Hard hip hop. Whenever I hear Alchemist, he brings me back to that time of the big, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop era.
Have you heard Benny the Butcher's new project?
I haven't.
Alchemist did, I think, half of it, and Derringer from Griselda did the rest. So you know, so have a blast with that. Thank me later.
Yes, sir. Lex, what you got? Final thoughts?
Well, actually, I guess my final thought is more of a question. Because, you know, I wasn't too, and I guess I'm still not too familiar with the Alchemist body of work, considering how much he's done. But this definitely makes me more interested in discovering more of like his production. In terms of the mixtape culture, has mixtape culture died in a sense? Is it still there? Is it still kind of like underground, or is it just like is it still kind of flourishing in a sense, or has it maybe evolved? Like, what do you guys think about that, considering that you've been introduced to him, you know, through like mixtape culture?
I have an answer for that, but Shizz, do you want to go first?
You know what? I'm just going to say I feel like again with the whole evolution of sampling and having to, and people, and rightfully so, but before it used to be, to me, it was more hip hop used to be a competitive, playful, respectful kind of thing, to where like it wasn't like a thing to where you can jump on my joint and go ahead and spit your bars. But now it's like, in essence, if I'm spitting harder than you on your joint, and more people are generating more, to like when Lil Wayne was putting out his No Ceilings mixtapes and all of that, it's kind of like, oh, like, hold up, he can't be spitting freestyles harder over my song beats. And now I'm getting, people are like, oh, well, when they hear a beat, they're relating it to the mixtape joint. So I think the business side of it, unfortunately, is kind of what killed the mixtape era. Go ahead, Ray.
That's a great point. I feel like in these sessions, in this week's sessions of, you know, recordings, I feel like we've talked about evolution a bit. So the mixtape era it hasn't died. It's evolved. Now everything is an album. They don't always label an album anymore. Sometimes they'll call it a mixtape.
Right.
You just have to know. DJ K Slay, and I hope he's doing well. I know
shout out to K Slay.
I know he caught COVID, and
he was doing bad.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything, but I hope no news is good news. But K Slay has been putting out mixtapes fairly frequently recently. Yeah. DJ Drama just started doing Gangsta Grills again. Jim Jones just put one out, and I forget who else has one. Tyler the Creator put out an album that was a Gangsta Grills. That album was phenomenal. The Tyler the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost album is a Gangsta Grills mixtape / album.
Got you. Okay.
So mixtapes have died in the traditional sense of like what we grew up on.
I respect that, yeah.
But they still exist.
Right.
And that's what I meant when I mentioned how hip hop evolves. How it's not a young man's game the way that we were taught to believe it. Because the older artists still do it. They don't do it the way they used to, where it's like, oh, I'm a freestyle over so-and-so's instrumental, because to Shizz's point, that's kind of not frowned upon, but you kind of save those for Instagram now. Like that kind of became like the Instagram post. RJ Payne from Philadelphia got really, he went viral doing the traditional freestyling over everybody's instrumental. So that's still a thing, but yeah, the mixtape circuit is different now.
Okay.
There's no blanket answer to that question.
Got you.
I respect that.
Okay.
Lex, you want to go ahead and close us out?
Yeah, man. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Beat Connection. Please like, share, subscribe to all socials. Please leave a comment. Let us know what songs and samples you want us to talk about next. And as always, stay tuned for the next episode.
Yes,
And,
I think it's safe to say we created some alchemy there, right?
Yeah, we did.
And while you're here, go watch the video Visions of Gold by Alexa Gold.
Visions of Gold.
Oh.
Because I said, tell them Azrael sent you.
Hey, look at it. Yeah,
Yes, y'all.
Queen Midas.
Watch it twice.
I have a new single called Visions of Gold. It's out now. The video is out now. So just look for Alexa Gold, Visions of Gold, the music video. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, guys.
Hey, I'm gonna keep screaming.
Super Looper coming soon. She ain't gonna say it. Super Looper coming soon.
Like I said, I'm gonna keep screaming y'all names until everybody got it by memory, so it don't even matter.
Thank you so much.
And you know what? The hell with it. The White Rose Project on all DSPs.
Yes.
Go check him out.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I never plug my own music. The White Rose Project on all DSPs right now.
I don't either.
Hey, Lifestyles of the Broken Famous mixtape coming. I'll let y'all know.
No, you got the bars, dog. I'll find the beats.
I'll let y'all know when it's coming.
Don't worry about it.
Lifestyles of the Broken Famous.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Just let them go off the top. Just let them riff. Good episode, y'all.
Good episode. Oh, and always can do.
Yeah.